And I guess first I wanted to just share with you real quick where I've come from, because it is kind of a big, I don't know, just a big thing for me. I gave my life to Christ when I was 9 years old on a bus. I saw a little tract. My mom took me to church, but I didn't understand really fully, like, Jesus and all that until when I was 9, and I read this tract, and it said that I could accept Jesus into my heart, and I was excited about that, so I did. I closed my little eyes, and I remember like looking at it and opening my eyes to read it, and then close my eyes and say the prayer and open them. And I believe that's when I really like started to, walk beside Jesus with my volunteering, so we're walking together. And then I was baptized when I was 12, 13, around that age. I can't remember exactly. So that began the part of life that was really a challenge. So when I was 16, just a few years after, I got taken away from my mom. I got put through foster care. And being taken away it was 10 days before my 16th birthday, and 16-year-old girl, I'm like, oh my gosh, my 16th birthday. And then it was like, oh no. But I had friends there to support me and to keep me going and to keep me positive. I had this setup of support and healthy relationships that kept me stable. And I was very fortunate and blessed to be put into a foster home that was safe, that loved God, and that cared for all of my siblings. I have 5 siblings, 1 that's older and 4 that were younger, and all of the younger ones, we all split up. But then eventually we all lived together, and then eventually we split up again. But I ended up moving in with this family who now are like, they're my legal guardians, and I call them my sisters and my brothers and my mom and dad, because they've just completely enveloped me and then welcomed me into their life. And I spent the years in foster care working on what I call the domino effect, and I believe it's a proper term, but I call it that anyway, but where the history of my family has made poor choices and has, just walked a lonely road. And because of where God took me, because God brought me to the right family and brought me to the right people, I was able to push against this domino effect. And I have a little piece of paper in my wallet that my friend wrote me when I took sociology class that says, "Stop those dominoes." I keep it in my wallet all the time. And I believe that the choices I made to, graduate high school and then come to George Fox and make friends and to push really hard and say, I'm not going to let this get me down, even though it was very challenging, they're what got me here. And I know I'm graduating 4.5 years, but I still think that's great because I took the time that I needed to get through it. And I went to counseling, and I sought out the help that I needed from the family members I had and the emotional support that I had. And meanwhile, I'm doing theater, and so I come to Fox, and that's my major. And I wasn't sure if I wanted that to be a major until the end of my junior year. I almost changed it like 5 times right on this. But what I learned that I really want people to know, I really want them to know this, and I share this with people on the bus, just because I see the hesitation in life, and I want it to stop. What I learned, the biggest thing I learned at Fox, is to trust yourself, to trust myself. And we hear it every year. We've heard it since freshman year from Rhett, and we've heard it from Brian, and we've heard it Brian Boyd, Rhett Ledke. And it's just so hard to remember. In acting, you want to trust your instincts. You want to move forward. If you want to go to that side of the stage, go to that side of the stage. If you want to get down on your knees and beg, get down on your knees and beg. If you want to just stand there and look at them, just stand there and look at them. And then, that translates into real life. If you really care about somebody, tell them. If you don't want to go to the store, don't go to the store. Don't. But in those little things it counts, but also in the big things, like if you need to tell somebody how much they mean to you, even though it sounds weird, even though the words that are coming out of your mouth don't sound like words you always say them. And if you feel like you want to tell a joke and you don't think it's going to be funny, laugh at it yourself. I do that all the time. I say a lot of things that are silly, but nobody laughs at them. This makes me so happy that you can laugh. So yeah, the biggest thing is to trust yourself. Really trust yourself. Follow your instincts. And if you get no, if you hear no, people shake their head. If you get a no, just be okay with that. Know that no might be the answer. I'm always expecting no at this point. But when no doesn't happen, when yes is the answer, which it often is, I just expect no because I want to be surprised. Yes, when it's yes, it's just that much better. So when you're okay with no is really what I'm saying, then yes will be great. And then the other thing that I feel like I wanted to share was to take risks. I studied Islam in the West for my LACY project, and I feel like students were afraid to take risks. And I feel like professors were afraid to take risks. And when I did a survey where I got 100 responses, because I really pushed it, about Islam, and half of the responses, one of the answers was, do you want to know more? And at least half were no. And I feel like, and almost everybody that filled out the survey were Christians, and I feel like we get so stuck in our world, and we want to help our world, but we only want to help our world. Like, we only want to help those people we care about. But sometimes we want to care about and help the people we don't know, or the ones that don't mean a lot to us specifically. But even when there's not a tragedy going on, we should be taking risks to know these people. That's a risk, to open yourself up, to be vulnerable, and to accept who they are, even if you don't agree with them, even if you don't like them, even if they've hurt you. We need to take those risks, to reach out, to believe in them, to love them like Christ loves them. And we say it so much, but we don't live it out as much as we want to. And that's my encouragement to graduates, to alumni, to people who keep working at Fox, and I guess everyone else. It's take risks, be open, and trust yourself with those risks and with those opportunities and the people that you love, because that's going to make you live a fuller life. Not a job that you have, or how much money you make, or who you love, but how much effort and how much positivity you put into the world. That's how much you're going to get out of it.